Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Voice of Go's TNT Daily Report on August 5th, 2020. My name is Rika. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any thoughts, please comment down below. We'd like to hear valuable feedbacks from you. Let's now get started with our first breaking news of today. Investors have moved cash into precious metal as COVID-19 cases rise in the US, and more money is pumped into the global economy. The record high gold price has also been driven by concerns over tensions between Washington and Beijing. China's official gold reserves holdings of 1,948 tons, although suspected to be much higher than that, are all held inside the country. The price of gold has increased by more than 30% in the past 8 months. Experts in the gold market predict that precious metal will keep going up in the future. Now moving on to the next breaking news. CCP targets networks with new TNT malware attacks. 3 agencies of the U.S. government have published today a joint alert alerting U.S. private entities about new versions of TNT, a malware family previously associated with Chinese state-sponsored hackers. The alert has been authored by the Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, the Department of Defense Cyber Command, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations. These agencies say the TNT remote access Trojan has been used as far back as 2008, and they spotted TNT being used in new attacks. The new TNT samples have versions for 32 and 64-bit system and are usually installed on a victim system as a service dynamic link library, according to the joint alert. Now moving on to the first daily news of today about the U.S. small business bailout money flowing to the CCP. Our reporter Cadenza will explain what happened.
In a rescue effort to stabilize small businesses in the United States during the ongoing pandemic, millions of dollars of American taxpayer money have flowed to America's biggest economic rival, China, unintendedly from the $660 billion Paycheck Protection Program that was created in March, according to the New York Times. This was a result of the economic relief legislation allowing American subsidiaries of foreign firms to receive the loans. It is reported that $192 million to $419 million has gone to more than 125 Chinese entities. At least 32 Chinese companies received loans worth more than $1 million. Some of the companies, such as Continental Aerospace Technologies and Aviate Systems, are owned by a conglomerate that is classified as a Chinese military company by the Department of Defense. Although the lending program most likely saved an unspecified number of jobs in the United States, this revelation shows the CCP's influence remains deep in the American industries.
Thank you. As U.S.-China relation intensifying, nuclear weapons have suddenly become a new area of contention. Massive Chinese media reported that China is enforcing its nuclear power. A couple days ago, a retired nuclear specialist, Yang Chengjun, criticized the chief editor Hu for hyping the nuclear issues. Let's hear in details.
Chinese specialist on nuclear missiles Yang Chengjun, who had long worked for the PLA rocket force, indicated in a paper that China can detect nuclear missiles launched from an enemy and counterattack using nuclear weapons within minutes before they land in the country. Yang also emphasized that China's nuclear capacity has become comprehensively comparable to those of the United States and Russia. Last month, Hu Xijing, the editor-in-chief with the Global Times, appealed that China needs to expand the number of its nuclear warheads to 1,000 in a relatively short time, and it is to have at least 100 Dongfeng 41 strategic missiles. Both Hu and Yang's remarks are focused on the capacity of nuclear warhead. However, Yang published an article on Phoenix Military Network on July 30th. On the contrary, he secretly criticized Hu's claim that increasing the number of nuclear weapons to compete with the United States was hyping the nuclear issue. Recently, in the Chinese program, Yang pointed out that Hu should not express his views on the national nuclear strategy. Hu also made outrageous and inciting remarks as he's a celebrity. He said Hu Xijing is the one who really helping the America to attack China.
We all know that President Trump announced that he will ban TikTok several days ago, and in fact, there are groups of Chinese AI startups being blacklisted. However, recently, resources indicated that U.S. blacklisting fails to derail ambitions of those startups. Let's hear it.
Trump administration has blacklisted multiple Chinese AI startups, accusing them of aiding the repression, mass arbitrary detection, and high technology surveillance. After the initial struggle with this blacklisting and revenue hits, MagV, a Chinese facial recognition startup, still attracts a $4 billion capital, has its earning revived along with its pre-entity listing. As of other blacklisted startups such as SenseTime and Alibaba-backed facial recognition startups has nailed a $1 billion of funding this year.
Thank you. Polyphenol ether, also known as PPO, is a polymer valued for its lightweight, heat resistance, and dimensional stability with wide application in auto and electronics industry. Recently, China initiates anti-dumping probe into U.S. polyphenol ether imports. Our reporter Yang Zi will tell more about that.
On June 23, 2020, the Ministry of Commerce received an anti-dumping investigation application formally submitted by the Nantong Xinchen Synthetic Materials Company on behalf of the domestic polyphenylene ether industry. The applicant requested to conduct investigations on imported polyphenylene ether originating in the United States anti-dumping investigation. In accordance with the relevant provisions of the anti-dumping regulations of the People's Republic of China, the Ministry of Commerce conducts investigations on qualifications of applicants, the relevant conditions of products supplied for investigation, the relevant conditions of similar products in China, the impact of the products applied for investigation on domestic industries, and the relevant conditions of countries applying for investigation. According to the evidence provided by the applicant and the preliminary review by the Ministry of Commerce, the total output of polyphenylene ether from the applicant and supporting companies accounted for the major part of the total output of similar products in China in 2017, 2018, and 2019, which is in line with the provisions of Article 11 and Article 13 of the Anti-Dumping Regulations of the Republic of China concerning the application of the anti-dumping investigations by domestic industries. At the same time, the application contains the content and relevant evidence required for the filing of anti-dumping investigations under Articles 14 and 15 of the Anti-Dumping Regulations of the People's Republic of China. Based on the results of the above review and the accordance of the Article 16 of the Anti-Dumping Regulations, the Ministry of Commerce has decided to initiate an anti-dumping investigation on the imported polyphenylene ethers originating in the United States from August 3, 2020.
Thank you for the report. Coming to our final news of today, 2 suspicious bodies were found in Sichuan province, yet the CCP's police have concluded them as suicide cases within half a day. Let's hear in more detail.
Suspicious deaths. Self-hanging concluded within half a day by the CCP's police. The police force in Ermei-San City, Sichuan province, spent a mere half-day investigating the deaths of 2 people found at Edgewood's near Guanyin village, and announced the cause as self-hanging on 3rd of August on the police WeChat page with no detailed report or confirmation from the family. Instead, the police emphasized an order: do not make up, believe, or spread rumors, but accept the government's statement. This kind of cheaper efficiency, lack of involvement of a public prosecutor, and highly generic official statement is typical to the CCP's dealing with unnatural death in mainland and in Hong Kong recently. This announcement only serves suppressing further reaction in highly public cases. Do not forget, as it says in proverbs, a false witness will not go unpunished, and he who pours out lies will not go free.
Alright, that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time at TNT Daily.